It's a little different not having Matt with us this time, huh?
Mm-hmm. He's all too happy to have a little free time to himself, though.
Okay, got that shot. And Jennifer is checking out the butterflies over there. Beautiful area over here. God's creation. I think it's a coyote.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we have seen all kinds of animals out here. Back out here at the American River again today, and you're seeing all kinds of stuff. I kind of look like a big dude there too. Wow. Just kind of went off somewhere over in here. Actually, I think right there, it looks like that grass is pushed down, then he kind of went off over here somewhere down on this little trail. Let's see if we see anything over here. Hopefully not a whole coyote pack or anything. Nope. Looks like he made his way out of here. I don't know where he went. We're looking for a good place to film our next segment for our videos, but that must have been a good spot there if he was kind of kicking back there. I don't think I've ever seen a coyote just kicking back before. They're usually on the move. So that must have been a pretty peaceful place over there.
I know, we disturbed. He was having a nice rest and we disturbed him.
Messed up his nap.
Poor guy.
He probably doesn't want to be on film either. Here we are in our latest installment of things that God was revealing to us in our 21-day fast. And I think the big thing that he was revealing to me is seeking him for him and not for his gifts or his blessings or signs, wonders, and miracles, or just things we want him to do for us. And I think at this point, I think God had brought to me a couple of scriptures and kind of had me look at them the two different ways. And the first one was seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and he will add all these things to us. Which the context of that is God had been talking about how he feeds the birds of the air and clothes the grass and the flowers of the field, and how much more valuable we are to him, and how much more will he clothe us and feed us so we don't have to worry. He's talking about not worrying about our necessities in that passage. And I think sometimes if we take that thing out of context, we can make it like, you know, if we seek first his kingdom, his righteousness, he's going to give us Rolls Royces and mansions and just make us wealthy and rich. But that's not in context. He's talking about food and clothing and our necessities that we don't have to worry about, that he's got that taken care of. I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about the other way, seek first his kingdom and his the way that it's written, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, as opposed to seek first his gifts, his blessings, signs, wonders, and miracles. And then the other passage was love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. This is the first and greatest commandment. And then looking at it the other way, the way it's not written, love the Lord your God's gifts, blessings, signs, wonders, and miracles and all the things he can do for us. For me, is just kind of like seeing really big the difference between seeking him because he's God for who he is, as opposed to looking at him as like a magic genie.
Yeah, I certainly can understand not wanting to come to God that way. You know, we're having a relationship, and so not treating God in a way, you know, treating him the way we would want to be treated, which is interesting because I felt like in that ask, seek, knock passage, at the end of it is do unto others as you would have done unto you. And I felt like and I felt like God had said, do unto me as I have done unto you. And I've been kind of kicking that around, and the only thing I've really come up with is about his unconditional love. So is my love for God unconditional? Which is, you know, am I only going to love you if I feel like I'm getting what I'm asking for, or if things are turning out the way I think they should? But am I going to love you like, do I just love you plain and simple, unconditional now because of Jesus and what Jesus has done already? Or am I going to be conditional? And I don't think that, I believe God is a generous Father, and he does want to bless just because he wants to bless. I mean, you know, being a parent, I think in my parenting with my kids, when my kids are really earnestly doing, you know, the right thing for the right reasons, your heart just wells over with joy, and you want to bless them in any way you can. And I think our Heavenly Dad is like that as well.
And I think it's the other way around too, like thinking about it in human relationship terms. Like if your kids are always asking for stuff and they act entitled and they want you to give them stuff and constantly asking you and bugging you, and, you know, rather than, you know, that they love you because you're their parent and love God, because, I mean, we wouldn't even be here if it weren't for God. So it's like, you know, I don't want to be a spoiled child just coming to God for what I want to get from him.
But by the same token, I also want to be, you know, constantly in a mode of, Lord, you've designed me not only for relationship, but a plan and a purpose in your kingdom. And so change my heart, lead my heart to the things that you have planned, that your desire for my life would be my desire for my life. So I'm aligned and I want the same things of where you're taking me. Like, I mean, you could sort of, the pendulum could swing to the other way where you don't have any drive. And I think God still wants us to have a drive, and without knowing his desires, there is a certain part that we do want to be asking. But I think our asking comes more into the fruit of the Spirit, that the fruit of the Spirit would be pouring out of my life, because I'm not seeking for stuff, I'm seeking souls for Christ. And in order, you know, so I want to be salty so that someone that's around me is thirsty for Jesus, you know. And so the thing, I think what it happens is we still need to desire and want things, because that kind of keeps you moving forward. But I think the things that you're desiring are different. They're intangible, not tangible.
Yeah, the more we spend time with God and spend time in relationship with him, he starts to transforms us by the renewing of our minds, and the more we are in his word and spending time with prayer with him, that I think he does that. He aligns our thinking to the way he thinks about things and the way he sees things and what he wants to do, and just desiring to spend time with him, just really trying to wrap our mind around. I think that's a hard thing, because in this world, you know, there's all kinds of things we want to make our life more comfortable, or that whole materialism thing can creep in a lot of ways, where it's like that's you know, the only reason we're coming to God is because we want him to do something for us or give us something. But I think what he's shown me when it come to that place of desiring him and just hanging out with him and in his word and prayer for him, he begins to renew our minds so that we realize what's important to him, and we could spend time with him where he's doing his work, and his biggest concern is he wants as many people as possible to come in relationship with him to be able to spend eternity in heaven with him. The big thing about it is just coming to the place where we realize who he is and what he's like, how much he loves us, that we know that whatever he has in mind, whatever he has planned for our lives, whatever he wants for us is ultimately what's best for us.
I liked your example that you were telling me about. If you had approached me before we got married in a certain way, how I probably wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah, if she would have lived in a mansion, and you know, even seeking God just to go to heaven, you know, not really caring, not really interested in God, but just because you want to go to heaven, I started thinking about it'd be like me if she would have been wealthy and lived in a mansion, just this incredible indoor pools, outdoor pools, basketball courts, go-kart, I mean, just everything, skate park. and I came up to her and was thinking, you know, I want to get to know this girl and I want to get married to her because I really want to live in that house that she has. That's a really cool place there. And
I probably wouldn't have liked that. I might have liked having that house, but I don't think I would like, you know, I mean, it's funny because when we're training up our children, we teach them not to treat their friends like that.
Yeah.
And then yet, unfortunately, there's times where in our walk with God, in our relationship with God, we treat him like that.
Treat him that way. I think he just wants us to get to the place to know how much he loves us and just know that, yeah, one day we are going to be able to be in heaven with him. But are we looking at where we're excited to be in heaven because God's there and with God? Or I think even that could be kind of skewed a little bit if it's like, yeah, I'm gonna believe in God because I want to go to heaven. I want to live in that cool place where he lives.
Yeah, thankfully, he designed us, he made us, he knows exactly how we are, so much so that he was willing to send his son to pay a price that we couldn't pay, that he knew. He knew he had to make a way because on our own, we just couldn't do it. We just wouldn't be able to make a way. So thankfully, he knows us very well.
Made a way through Jesus Christ and him dying to pay for our sins so that we could come close to God, so that we could have a relationship with God, and he can renew us and restore us to how he desires us to be. So it's thankful, just really thankful that we can trust him so much that and just want to be in that place where I'm in love with Jesus so much that the things of this world grow strangely dim, and we're more kingdom-minded than God's kingdom-minded rather than our kingdom-minded.
Amen.
All right, you ready to wrap it up here and move on?
Yeah, I want you to take our chairs back to the water where the geese were.
Where the geese were. She loves the water. All right. All right. Time to head back. All right, guys, that is our day at the river today. So thanks for hanging out with us.
We'll see you next time.
God bless you guys. See you on the next video.